everyone, welcome to another episode of Custom Spray Mods. Now, you've gone out shopping, you've parked your car, and you've come back, some low-life scumbag has scratched the crap out of the side of it. So today, I'm going to go over the steps on how to fix it using only aerosol cans. So let's go. Now sometimes you can find your colour code under the bonnet on a compliance plate, but on this particular car, the colour code is actually in the door and it's on this little sticker here, and as you can see the colour is NU, where it says exterior colour NU. That is the colour. So take that to your paint shop and they'll be able to mix the paint for you. First thing I'm going to do is use my 240 grit sandpaper and my block and just try and sand out this scratch and leave all remains of the scratch gone. Also found two little stone chips here, so looks like someone's tried to touch it up with some touch-up paint, so I'll just try and sand them out too and use the same process on them. Okay, now because I've gone back to the bare metal here to get rid of this stone chip, I need to put some etch primer on because that'll help the primer stick to the metal. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 3 coats of that on. It's only thin coats. Make sure you shake your cans. Okay, now I'm just going to wet sand the primer with 400 grit sandpaper and a block, and I'm just going to sand off all that guide coat, and that's going to show me where I've sanded. Okay, so I chucked some more guide coat on there, and now I'm going to use 800 grit wet on a block and go over it again with 800 grit and get all those 400 grit scratches out using this finer sandpaper. It doesn't hurt to go a little bit bigger over the repair. Make sure you get all those scratches out because they will show up in your paint. Final coat. Alrighty, now I'm going to use some grey Scotch-Brite, bit of water on it, and some of the scuffing paste, and just go over the rest of the panel with the pad and the scuffing paste. See, I've scuffed it all up, and the scuffing paste gives you like a soapy residue on it. And clean that off. You're ready for the next step. Using the Wax and Grease Remover, give it a good clean rag, and you're ready for your paint. Alrighty, so I've put about 4 to 5 coats of colour on, and I've covered the whole primed up area. I haven't painted to the edges of the panels, and I've kind of just blended that colour in. Now that's going to make sure that the colour is exactly the same. You won't notice it on the other surrounding panels. So now I'm going to put the clear coat on, and I'm going to clear coat the entire panel, and because I scuffed it, the clear is going to stick, and I'm going to put about 3 to 4 coats of clear coat on this panel, waiting 10 minutes between coats, and you should be right. Alrighty, so I've left this dry for about 2 or 3 days, and now I'm going to sand it with some 1200 grit wet, and just use a rag to keep that water on there and get it sanded nice and flat. There you go, now you might be able to see how flat that's come, and it's just all the gloss is completely gone, and that means that the clear is now extremely flat. So we're going to buff it, and that's going to bring it up nice and glossy like the rest of the car. Okay, so I've got it all sanded down, it's all nice and flat. Now I'm going to use this buffing machine with a woolen buff pad on the end and some Mr. Buff compound, which is designed for 1K acrylic, which is what comes out of those spray cans, so time to buff it. slowly, bit by bit. There you go, that's how you repair a scratch with aerosol cans. And by blending the scratch, not actually painting to the edge of the panel, you make sure that your two colours will match if there's any difference in colours when you get that paint. So yeah, just make sure you cut it and buff it, and it'll look nice and shiny. Okay, so I'm waiting for this clear coat to dry. Now I'll show you just what we've got in the garage over here. We've got a 1939 Packard. 1939 Packard, it's a straight 6, 3-speed manual on the tree. And yeah, this is great, eh? It's great to drive, it's really smooth, powerful. Bloody 1939, the thing's great. We take this out every now and then for a bit of a dry. Look at that. It just smells old. You can smell the leather. And it's just something that the cars these days are just, they don't have this same kind of feel to them. But goes all the way up to 10. Yeah, on a good day. Yeah, that's a Holden Packard. I mean, not a Holden, that's a Packard.
Hits someone's foot.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure the real